Hello everyone, Russell Wright from networkempire.com, and we're going to go over the first version of Painfinder. And Painfinder is available for all paid members of networkempire.com if you are a $147 a month member or greater. And some of you have been grandfathered in at even less than that. The only way to find out if you have access would be to log in using your username and password that came with your paid area. So with your receipt. And it should log right in. And if you are entitled to the use of this software and you're not able to have access, please do contact our help desk support. We have had some database issues with those of you who were grandfathered in to this software prior to the main price point. And so go ahead and just contact the help desk. Make sure that you have everything in order, because we do have a few occasional errors on the database that don't allow people to log in. So just go back to the members area and look up at the top of your toolbar and you should see support. Click on that link and let us know what's going on. Now, as you can see, we're currently in the control panel area. Okay, this is the projects area. Okay, and the projects area will allow you to look at each project by name. Okay, these are the project names. You can see that I have one project here which I'm going to work on for the sake of this demonstration called Merlin the Magical Client. This is a client who has an online empire based on magic, and specifically magic tricks and card tricks. Okay, so all you have to do when you create a project is go to projects, go to create projects. Hopefully you saw that icon up here. It's just, the word up here, create project. Click on it. Type the name of this project. This is also going to be part of Merlin the Magical Client. This is a client of mine. And we're going to type in card tricks. Create that project and click the blue arrow once that word is in there. Hopefully you can see that. Go ahead and let's click it. Okay, now it's going to drill. I wanted to add that we have an upgrade of this version coming up right now. There are not going to be synonyms pulled back from Quora anymore because of the recent changes they've made. And so just know that you need one keyword per project. So there should be a single keyword drill for every project that you build. Okay. Once you type this keyword in, go ahead and click Get Questions. Hopefully you can see the Get Questions button. It's right over here. Now what you'll begin to see is that it'll start drilling in. But by the time it reaches 100%, it's going to pull back a maximum of 100 questions in this particular version. We will have a later version coming out that'll have unlimited, but most of the time there are under 200 questions in Quora, and sometimes there's more. We'll make those available to you later on in a more expanded version for those of you who want it. It takes a huge amount of resources to pull these questions back, so just wanted to make sure that you knew what was going on. Okay, now we're going to go back to the project screen. Just click on that button up here. We'll go ahead and go up there. And on the current version, since this is our launch, okay, on the current version, it can take up to an hour for these questions to get pulled back. So go and do something else. Don't sit here and wait for the tea kettle to boil. Okay, and so what I've done is I've pre-drilled some items. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So we're going to look at this client on a pre-drilled term called Magic Tricks. Hopefully you can see that right here. And the project name is Magical Clients, Merlin the Magical Client. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the edit mode, and that's going to be right over here. Okay, and just click on the edit function. That'll get you back into that project. Okay, so just go over here, and it's going to pull back all of the words that I drilled earlier. Okay, now what I'd like you to look at here is, let me just go ahead and pull this up here. What this is going to tell you up here is that there's 2 topics and there's 59 questions, and it's drilled into them 100%. If you scroll down just a little bit, you can see that these are the top 13 or so questions out of 100 that is pulled back, or it could be less than 100. And you can see right here, number of views. And that makes things really interesting, because when you know that a question has been viewed 4,130 times, but it's only been answered 4 times, and you're in the magic trick universe with your product, services, websites, and even your network empire. What's the secret to the trick that Justin Willman performed on the Ellen Show? Okay, that's very, very important when it comes to magic tricks. Let's go ahead and make sure. Now we're in the word magic tricks. This came back as the most inquired question. Now there's some really important research. If you've got a magic website, you really want to know what's going on. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and open this in a new tab. And you can see that somebody even posted the Ellen Show magic trick. Now what I would do is I would research this and find out what's going on. If I have some answers or suggestions for what this trick might be, that's great. But I will actually create my own video. If I'm an expert and it appeals to me, if I can create a video answer, I will. And I'll match and double that video answer with a post. Now you don't even have to do that. You can just take this question and go off and do your own blog post and not even engage Quora. But I have left you a couple videos because Quora is one of the ways that I generate traffic in an hour or less. Okay, sometimes 15 minutes or less. So you can tell that they have the video in here, so I would watch this. And this is the question that's been viewed 4,100 times. And really nobody knows how the heck that magic trick was done. Okay, and I just want to leave a side note, and this is less about the software and more about Quora itself, because I've got a whole other course on Quora, and we've got some leftover course modules for you as bonuses that you should just look through because they are very relevant to this. I learned a ton about industries after I look at the most frequently asked questions, and this person has done it right by dropping a video in to his Quora post, but I seriously doubt that this video is his YouTube video from his channel. Okay, that's what you really want to do, is make sure you're embedding only your own videos. As Sue says, only tweet thyself. Okay, and so one of the things I want to point out here is that I always go and do research. When I see that Justin Willman is the #1 searched question on magic tricks, I go and I check him out. Okay, but I also do watch the video, okay, and I learned a ton about the industry and market. For example, the #1 question answerer reveals a whole lot about the market. But he also gives away the fact that this is a magic trick almost precisely in the same look and feel as the person when Justin did this on the Ellen Show. Sadly, this purchasable trick looks exactly like the trick box that he used. I mean, and I actually know how this trick works. So I have to decide ethically as magic. You got to, make sure that the rules of your industry are used. You can take a lot of heat online for revealing tricks online. It's considered a bad form. I don't know if you knew that, but people do it all the time. However, for paid, behind firewalls and magic areas, for example, private membership areas, you can take, you can take private lessons and the rest. Chris Angel, who has quite a lot of style, speaks to this one. This is a very powerful trick. It's useful. And it's actually quite common sense how it's done. But again, it was done on this is just something in the industry. You can make huge amounts of traffic in the magic industry by talking about just tricks. Okay, so this is an example. I'm just giving you an example of how I use Painfinder. I might even go, there's 2 ways I might use this. I might create a silo on my content or a blog category just on Justin Willman by himself, because I find out that he's not hugely popular as a magician, but that would be one way to create a very powerful category by looking at the tricks that someone does. Okay, so that's one way to use the Painfinder software. You can start just researching this. Has anybody been killed by a magic trick gone wrong? Okay, and you go ahead and open it, and then I start taking notes. And when I'm done, again, keep in mind that this is all part of a more advanced module that we have called the ISDNA, or the frequently asked questions to should ask questions. Joe Burris died. That's a fact. We know that he passed away by trying to bury himself alive and get out. There was actually an error in the prop. Okay, but these are things that people interested in magic and illusionism should be very aware of. But this has a lot of intrigue. Remember, we talked about interesting but incomplete, and the 4 categories. Intrigue. Go ahead and write this question down because it is highly popular. It's been viewed almost 3,000 times now, and really, if you go back, it's only been answered 5 times. That's just no answers, folks. I'm going to drive traffic directly to my magic site in 5 minutes or less. Okay, so this is really how this works. And then there's Keith Barry is the next question. Keith Barry has an amazing presentation on TED. And TED, and this has been viewed 1,114 times. Everybody wants to know how he does the nail palm trick. Okay, and these are amazing tricks. I actually know how that one was done as well. But through the study of illusion, which is a passion of mine, because it's closely related to cognitive blind spots and neuromarketing, there are all kinds of ways to engage and intrigue your audience. Okay, so that's the purpose of the software. That's why I created it for you. And you're not stuck. I mean, a lot of these drills will bring you back into views that are, say, 20,000 or 30,000 views with only maybe 15 questions answered. It's just such an untapped territory. In fact, let's go back to the projects area and let's just look at magic in general, which I drilled into previously. Okay, and it's just magic is the name of the project, and magic is the keyword. Let's go ahead and look at everything. Hopefully this one drilled. Yeah, it's actually, this one's still drilling. There were so many in this project that I've been drilling this for over an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, so this can take 1.5 hours to drill the big, but this is a top, the big ones. But this is a top level theme, isn't it? This is what we would call a vertical, because card tricks and magic tricks is actually our subcategories. Those would be supporting articles if you're trying to rank for the word magic. I mean, can you imagine trying to rank #1 for the word magic? Holy mackerel. Okay, it would be challenging and expensive to do so. But here you go. What are the most magical numbers? These are things that at the vertical level you can break magic down in a lot of different categories. What are the things that sound like mind-blowing facts but are actually not true? See what a novelty item that is? 5,000. Now you're going to have the word magic. It's going to be across a different category. But one thing I'd like to point out is when I drill into the top level vertical theme magic, and we do a lot with vertical themes on Kraken, our Kraken software, which you really should think about at least trying for a 2-day or a 1-week trial. Darren Brown actually falls. He's got so much traffic that he's actually a vertical magician. Okay, and that's really, really important. Then optical illusions, there's a whole bunch of them in here. Okay, so then you have a lot of stuff that's not related to the magic industry. But there's a lot of stuff that is, so you sort through those and you go for the most highly trafficked ones. If you're actually going to use Quora to drive traffic, you want to find the most highly trafficked one with the least number of answers, and then you're going to drop a video almost always, or at the very least an image, into those answers, and you're going to put a link back to your website, and you will get traffic from these questions, especially the high trafficked ones. In fact, I've had people come from Quora within 20 minutes of me answering their question authentically with a video and opting into my autoresponder and or purchasing my product. I've tracked this, I've tested it, and you can do it. Okay? So that's probably going to be the end of this demonstration. I've given you a general. When you're done with one, you can actually get rid of them. In fact, if you don't like, if something doesn't belong to your category, let me go ahead and show you something about computers. What is a good Windows 7 alternative to Apple Magic Trackpad? That might not be what I'm interested in, so go ahead and delete that question. Okay, you can get rid of. Are there any legal mental stimulants that do not have physical side effects? Okay, that's not part of my category. So what I do is I go through and get rid of everything. How has the magician's code been affected by the internet? Great question. See, that's great stuff. Will the Apple Magic Trackpad, okay, it has the word magic in it, so that's not in our niche. Okay, so I'll literally delete that. Okay, so you might do it a different way, but that's how I operate with my questions. And by the time I'm done, I have my content and videos as an expert lined up for the next, geez, I don't know, like months. I have actually got months worth of questions for 3 or 4 different clients, and they're going to be great videos with great response, and I'm going to kickstart those responses with Quora using the high views and hopefully low answers, or lowest answers first with high views. If you've got a really popular question, and if I have a very unique solution, doesn't matter how many answers there are. If I can get my answer voted to the top, or you can have your friends and or your clients, customers vote you to the top, it'll even help you even more. Okay, so let's go back and see if how our other project is doing. Just go to the project screen. I know that I have my card tricks, which is a related silo. It's a silo I'm building on the site. It's going to be magical client. It's going to be card tricks. You can see that right here. I'm going to go ahead and see how far along I am in the last few minutes talking. Okay, I'm 80% of the way through. All right, and that's only taken about 10 minutes, actually 13 minutes, because this talk is about 13 minutes long. And currently it's pulled back 21 questions, and now it just has to fetch the views and the answers. So I'll go off and work on my website silo or my blogs or whatever else that I'm doing in Domain Web Studio or Kraken. And I'll come back here, and by the time, before you're even, don't watch the tea kettle boil, in this case, over the next few weeks, we'll have all that resolved, so you'll be able to see this stuff pull back incredibly fast. All right, but right now, just go until we get our throttle set higher as people start to come in. We'll go and do other things, come back, and then grab your frequently asked questions and start researching your market. And what's so exciting is that you're literally one step away from answering these on Quora, which I've left other videos, and I'll update those videos shortly. And getting traffic right away. I love to kickstart traffic based on answering questions that you already know are quite intriguing, interesting, and incomplete. All right. Thanks, and I'll see you as soon as we update this software. We'll create a new video, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.